This is the Stand Out Like a Moose, Not a Mouse marketing video series where you'll get regular, high-value advertising and marketing advice that will help your business to thrive right here in Alaska.
You've heard the term used. You may have used it yourself. You may actually have one. But what is it? It's a brand. A concept and term often misunderstood and more often than not misused. A brand is frequently thought of as a logo, a corporate identity, or even a product. But is it any one of those or all of them? The meaning of brand has evolved since the days of the Wild West, when American ranchers branded their cattle to identify their property. Today, enterprises use the word to differentiate themselves from their competition. The modern dictionary definition is a person's perception of a product, service, experience, or organization. Perception being the key word here. In its contemporary usage, a brand is more than a product or a company. A brand is a perceived interpretation of what you stand for and how you operate, your intangible values. It may not even be a company, as it could be an organization like a hospital or a charity, or even a person like a singer or an artist. It represents the enterprise, service, or products and what they stand for in the minds of the consumers, or perception. David Ogilvy, the Mad Men era founder of iconic New York ad agency Ogilvy and Mather, defined a brand as the intangible sum of a product's attributes. But today, it's more than that. To help wrap our heads around the concept, let's take as an example Johnson & Johnson. This brand is not just the Band-Aids or baby oil from your childhood. Their brand is mommy and baby. Their brand is trusted wholesomeness, and they guard that perception as their crown jewels, which they truly are to this 133-year-old behemoth. Just like Target guards the perception of value and expect more, Apple guards technology as a stylish personal identity. A solid brand, without exception, is critical to the success of any enterprise, period. In fact, it has been shown time and time again that the strength of a brand is proportionately related to the success of a company or organization. So how do you nurture and maintain your brand? There is an external and an internal building process to this. Let's start with the external one by explaining the difference between your logo, your marketing, and your brand. While your logo, or by extension your website and marketing materials, can be described as the visual identifier and distillation of your brand, the internal brand can be described as the cultivation of the holistic reputation your customers have of your operation, based on their experiences driven by your actions and your product. So while a logo is only a graphical representation of your enterprise, a brand includes every single touch point that your customer has with your company. So then why is a logo or a website so important? Because in our visual age, it is your modern coat of arms by which you encapsulate what you are all about and helps you to break through the clutter and noise out there. Although the emotional response your customers get from seeing your logo comes in part from their prior experiences with your brand, the design of a good logo reinforces the perception of your brand by reminding your customer what you are all about and subliminally transmitting that to a prospective customer. Take the FedEx logo. Did you ever notice that there's an arrow between the E and the X? That arrow shows forward movement and speed in between the two letters that are in themselves an abbreviation for the word express. Federal Express, as it used to be known before they rebranded in 2000 to FedEx, had a slogan they launched in 1978, when it positively, absolutely has to get there overnight. This was the cornerstone to their brand, not because it was a good slogan, which it was, but because it was accurate. The performance of the company, in actual fact, not marketing hype, lived up to the promise. The FedEx brand is its 100% reliability in the mind of the user, and the branding is the touting of that fact. The conceptual strength and execution quality of your logo, website, or marketing materials, for that matter, are critical elements that will strengthen your brand. As a business owner, it's good to ask yourself every 3 to 5 years, is my logo doing my business any favors? If it looks dated or sloppy, that logo is reflecting poorly on your reputation. You want to make sure that your company's logo is consistent with the perception you already have in your market or wish to convey. The logo telegraphs the quality of the product or service that your customers expect of you. This being said, if your graphical branding is top-notch, but your product or service are not, no logo in the world will make up for the shortfall. Bottom line, they need to have a reciprocal, almost symbiotic relationship. Here are some tips for creating and managing your company's brand effectively. First, from an external point of view, what the public sees, and then internally, which involves how your company is operated, which are both critical brand components. Externally, make sure you have professional graphics. Getting your neighbor's teenage niece to design your identity may seem like a cost-effective idea, but in actual reality may end up costing way more than the business you may lose by not seeking professional counsel. Make sure all of your marketing elements are integrated and tied together. You will note that big companies sport a cohesiveness in terms of anything seen by the public. Be it a color palette, typographical style, signage, packaging, think golden arches and red on everything at McDonald's, from the burger wrapping to the backlit menus. In this digital age, your website, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube channel should all look and feel like your business cards, vehicles, exterior building signage. You want to create what is known as a 360-degree surround branding effect that reinforces your identity again and again. Think Starbucks. The combination of the green and the white are instantly recognizable around the world from every store or airport kiosk. Now, let's address brand internally. Walk the talk. Take a look at your reviews on Google or Yelp. Although they do not tell the whole story, they tell a lot. Look for patterns. If the complaints are common and recurring, it's you, not them. Decide to be the best at something. Service, pricing, product, innovation, the most unique in your market. If you're honest with yourself and deliver on your promise, you will see your brand reflected in your online reviews. There will always be outliers, no matter how hard you try. You can't make everyone happy all the time, but a pattern will emerge. If you don't stand for something in particular, you will stand for nothing in general, and your brand will become nothing more than a wandering generality and begin to lose its reason for existence. One of the best ways to create a strong brand is to create an entirely new product space. As an example, Tesla entered one of the most mature and crowded spaces around, but they chose to go narrow and deep rather than wide and shallow. There's effectively not been a successful large-scale automotive company built from scratch since the early part of the 1900s. Yet Tesla has become the category killer in the electric vehicle space. Granted, it's been a bumpy ride and they are not out of the woods yet, but their brand is synonymous with stylish innovation, performance, and beauty in electric transportation. Sort of the Apple of the car world. Their branding reflects exactly what they delivered, from their logo and website to the unique retail experience stores, which look nothing like a car dealership. They were disruptors and strove to be the very best. If you focus on opening up a new and uncontested market space, make sure you aim to become the undisputed category killer in your market. If you are average, you will end up with average results. This means break the paradigm either by process or design. Think what Nest did for thermostats or Ring did for doorbells. They took well-known products and turned them on their ear, and then they walked the talk. At the end of the day, build a better mousetrap and market it well in a unique and creative way, and people will come and buy it. Is it easy? No, but where's the fun in that? If it were, everyone would be doing it. Your job is to strive to be better and to make sure the ones who need your message or product most hear it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions for us, leave it in the comments below and make sure you don't miss an episode. See you next time. And remember, be a moose, not a mouse.